Oke. Nizar mana Nizar? Nah. Ya, ada Nizar ada kelas ya? Ya. Udah deh, sendiri kali. Oke. Oh, bentar. Wait. Oh, gini aja. Hop, hop. Oke. Ntar. Oke. Hah. Oke, langsung aja lah. Oke. Oke. Ada pesan. Walah. Oke. Baru mulai. Main apa? Story mode Genshin, Zar. Ada 2 story mode yang baru ku dapat. Bentar. Oke. Ada misi Albedo 1, satu lagi misinya Ganyu. Ntar share ke grup. Grup itu Zara, grup ML. Buset. Ops. Oke. Frame sedikit barusan. Oh, enggak sih. Bentar ya. Berarti langsung ke misinya aja ya. Ini dia. Albedo dulu atau Ganyu dulu ya? Albedo aja lah. Di sana. Sini kita. Ke itu kah?
So here you are. Choir practice is
Yang
about to...
mampir bantu like dapat pahala kalau ikhlas, insya Allah.
I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind of thing. I've got more important matters to attend to.
Rosaria, oke.
But this event has commemorative significance. The church hopes that all sisters will be present.
Hopes? That's odd, because I don't recall a fulfill the
Pucat ya
hopes of...
kulitnya.
I mean, sure, but...
But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you?
What do you mean?
This far out from Mondstadt at this hour? Who knows?
Huh? Well, that can't be.
Evidence decides what people are like, not your feeling. Don't fret. Nobody's gonna blame you if you go back empty-handed. But if you dally
Zar,
any
suaraku
longer,
jelas
you
nggak?
really won't...
You're right. It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right, I've got to get going.
Bye.
Seems like that sister's an expert in making people believe anything she wants.
I thought I heard something. Who are you and why are you eavesdropping?
We'd better watch out. She seems like a dangerous villain.
Oh, really? I'm a member of the long-standing Favonius Church. You're an eavesdropping pixie from who knows where. And you...
Wait, she heard that? Paimon was with...
And as for this outlander you seem to be following, the honorary knight that saved us from... Otherwise, depend...
What? Did the sister...
We can't go turning a... Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains?
We're looking
If
for
it's him
Albedo.
you're after, I made a point of noting his tracks. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's...
So, are you also looking for him?
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. Never hurts to be vigilant. I couldn't care what you think. Come on then. I'd like to see what he's up to
Oh
anyway.
my.
Rosaria said there were elemental traces in the tracks. They should show up pretty clearly with elemental sight.
Oke. Oke. Oke, Zar.
I got careless.
Mana tuh orang ya?
Fry.
We'll need more where that came from.
Oi.
I got careless. I got careless. I got careless. Picked the wrong test subject.
Oh.
Burn!
The more the merrier. First round's on me.
Hey.
Fry! Picked the wrong test subject.
Ke sini kan?
You know, little pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Yeah?
Hey.
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a trace.
You're so suspicious. Why is Paimon a criminal in your example?
Au. Muhammad Akmal Gaddafi, hai mal. Au. Kita ke Spedian belum ada kabar malah. Gue tadi nunggu itu loh.
Steady as stone.
Au. Au, au. Au. Hop.
This. I guess this is it.
Back off!
Must counterattack.
Iya.
Here come the fireworks!
So quiet.
We'll need more where that came from.
Kesini nggak sih? Nih.
It's getting colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Me? I'm all right. I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Huh? Seems like there's more to being a sister in the Favonius Church than Paimon realized.
Bentar ya.
I still have a lot to do at the guild. How about you take a rest while I go back?
Oke. Aha. Aku. Oke. Nggak masalah. Nggak ada masalah. Ini kah? Oh, ini? Ini kah? Baik. Oh, hi Albedo.
Is that Albedo? Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paint.
But can't he see those hilichurls? Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them.
Oh,
Enough talk. Let's take them out of the picture first.
oke.
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilichurls unfinished.
What's up with painting hilichurls? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
Wow, look at the detail! But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
You can find these hilichurls anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work. Evolution, the transition from nothing into existence, from the...
Hold your horses. Something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
Okay. Bye-bye.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? What a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
Yep.
We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said...
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt talking. I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack, I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from afar. From another world, correct?
Yep.
Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously. Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin?
Whoa. You want to start with that?
You're right. Giving a demonstration would be better than trying to explain. For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
Okay. Wow. Kok iso?
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced no results. It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the problem my research is up against.
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna be much assistance.
I beg to differ. But you're not from the known world. By observing and researching you, I may just be able to find a way.
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
It's possible. But I will do everything. Time for a change of surroundings.
Okay. Ooh.
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
Ada apa itu? Ke atas sana. Oke. Ini ya. Oh, Bang. Oke.
Flirting kiss?
Bye-bye. Oke.
Paimon has a question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
I don't know. But I feel the importance will lie in the method, not the endpoint. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of life. After awakening, even creation may be possible.
Ngeri anak IPA.
Still a little difficult to understand?
No, Paimon's got a brain. But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child.
Oh, Kui.
Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid.
Pasti.
I suppose it's one of the few non-alchemy related disciplines. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision.
Okay.
Though I can't see anything resembling one on your person, how you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. Firstly, do you have any extra organs?
What?
A second heart? A fourth stomach?
What?
Things of that nature. Fascinating. And this floating child is
Floating child.
connected to your body in some way?
What a stupid question! Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child.
Floating child.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ.
What?
Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you. Oh, that rules out that possibility. But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick,
What?
or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backwards. No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey, how would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the humans in this world. Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in their research, it's,
Yes.
firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine exactly how it manifests externally. Let me
Okay.
lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them.
Huh? Doesn't seem very scientific.
Direct and clear observation are imperative. Naturally, if you require a greater challenge.
Slimes!
No,
Slimes are fine.
no. Oceans Nambi, no.
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here any moment.
Okay. Ah, okay.
To ashes!
Go. Yeah. Oh. Bye bye. Udah kan?
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary?
No.
If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready.
Bit
Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's test the internal flow.
Internal
Internal flow?
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will extract elemental power.
Wow.
If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kinda terrifying.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness. No bodily injury.
And in the abnormal course of events?
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Try not to worry.
Okay.
Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is anything blocking your elemental flow, we'll be able to locate it with this test. Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, that's a bad sign.
Okay.
Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test is missing a catalyst. It's a type of ore known as star silver. I'll take you to my
Okay.
campsite. We all going to plan.
Paimon's still got a few safety Let's keep our eyes open.
Yep. Sini kan? Sini ya? Ah, ini.
Here,
Okay.
should do for catalyst purposes. This one, usable with a bit of polish.
Mana lagi ya? Oh ini.
What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way.
Di sini. Oke. Sini. Ah, oke.
This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here.
What? ganteng bet.
My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research.
Timaeus.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report is already up on the board there.
Whoa! Look at all the data!
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slime. Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy.
Exactly.
Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a basis in fact.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting entirely of the elements. A cryoregis vine, or even a whopperflower might be a better analogy. But in that sense, things might get difficult, don't you think?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
After all, we've got our primary data already. If it turned out that he did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world...
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. I'll slow down a bit next time. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more.
Great, I'll leave you to it.
Okay.
Looks like the potion's ready. In line with my expectations. Ready to
Take the
drink.
potion from the desk.
Remember to keep calm at all times. And breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Oke, minum potionnya. Di mana ya? Oh ini. Use. Oh, kebakar sih.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You
Warning a
said you
bit.
tried some already. You sure it was ready?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This
Why?
potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, but
Okay.
if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort. Once the flow...
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. But of course, you're my assistant. In
Okay.
conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from anyone else in this world.
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the undesirable variety. The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same, they can understand, empathize, encourage, and
Wow.
support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their experience because you are them.
Wow.
But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of their life is fundamentally different. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregis vine or an eye of the storm. Have I explained it clearly enough?
Yep.
To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power without Timaeus. The results of the new experiment are out.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it.
Oke.
Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the...
you can count
Oh,
on me,
tidak.
sir.
Is he trying to join the
Mantul.
Knights? He's, what Paimon meant to say was, that's the spirit? Mr. Albedo, say something.
Before we can proceed with our research, I need to... prepare something. If you're interested, why not have a look around?
Oke. Oke.
Here comes Albedo. Let's go see him.
Oops.
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Not to worry. They're all for alchemical purposes.
Anjay
You'd be
Rabi.
hard-pressed to find an
Ryan
everyday use for
Ramadhani.
them.
Oh, hai Ryan.
Well, on with the research.
Kuy main bareng Bi.
There may
Ini
be
masih
significant
story mode.
differences
Bentar
between
lah.
different worlds. Take Tevat, for example, but worlds may well exist. So,
Habis Albedo nanti ada
leaving
Ganyu.
elements to one side, I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last
You
time.
air
In other
berapa,
words,
Yan?
time for the next
Ini baru air
experiment.
43.
No. You shan't be required to exert quite. Now,
Dan Bing
see
nggak ada
this
top up
pillar
ya.
here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
Oh, oke.
You think Paimon knows how to do that stuff?
That was your best effort? Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking as such. Rather, channeling your power into the ingredients themselves. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with I suppose I have a curiosity for things that others find surprising. Anyway, why don't you cook a...
Cooking?
Not only is this
Masak?
recipe is...
Paimon bets you're just hungry. That does
Yes.
sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approves. Good buddies are always on the same page.
Ah,
I'll leave you to it then. Looking forward to the results. If there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can finish the last morsel.
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem. How are we gonna channel elemental power into the food? Maybe try
Sunshine
the willpower
Scrap.
thing again. Where does he get these ideas from anyway?
Masa apa ini? Oh ini, oke. Gila. Perfect. Oke mas. Mas.
That was fast. An average outcome experimentally, but you've really brought out the flavor. As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, unless...
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than adding herbs and spices.
Not to worry. At least we put some and here's your portion. Enjoy.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things...
Hey! You were being nice a second ago, but you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right? Good
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose.
Mhm.
Anyway, moving on to the next experiment. There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a challenge at the best of times. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me.
Paimon's barely finished eating and you...
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was if you had, say, superpower, like night, I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you will...
So, guess we'd better take a look.
Yep.
Oh yeah! You could use elemental sight!
Ah, oke. Di sini ya. Is this a thing? No. Mana ya? Di sini kah? Oh, ini kah?
This must be electrohypostasis powder!
Oh, ini.
The extract of an animo crystal fly can only be
Goodness, you managed to find them. Incredible. 1,000 thanks. I'm wondering, this elemental sight, this is what allowed you to locate the items and find me here on the mountains, correct?
Yep! Guess it does sort of count as a superpower, huh?
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, It is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean we failed again?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, getting these items back, I'd call this a very worthwhile I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces.
Oke.
Right then. Up until now,
Oh, ada apa, Zar?
our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research, in essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Let's start with physical.
Oke, Honda kau berdua bisa awak seperti motor. Oke. Bisa. Oke.
Looking out from where we're standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing?
Nope.
And if you jumped from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, could you see her then?
Nope.
So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into a million fragments? Then could you see her?
No.
Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, we'll gain a more thorough understanding with an experiment. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test.
Ke atas. Ke sini kah? Berarti lewat sini aja ya. Ke puncak sana, oke. 1, 2, 3 yang mana? Manjat. Ini Zar mana nggak nonton? Aduh. Oke. Hai. Nice. Oke. Yay.
You want us to jump from up?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're gonna be swimming?
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method that seems most rational to us.
Okay.
Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole thing rather refreshing. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. For me, every detail is... Then if you would, please, I eagerly await the...
Wait a minute! While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me?
Okay.
Recording data, responding to risks, providing emotional support.
Emotional.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Apaan tuh?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Ay. Oke, berenang kah? Hai ikan. Oke. Oh, hi.
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, traveler. The data shows that
Okay.
you're easily outperforming the average citizen in Mondstadt.
Thanks.
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat!
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But anyway, if it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly civilization you belong to. If the natural laws of Tavad do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights.
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own.
Oh, wow.
The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are inevitably fleeting in nature. I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are finite. All these things that start out as objects of fascination, and
Oh, so that's why you wanted to paint those hilly turtles? Because you got to see something new and interesting in the differences between them?
precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part, quite boring. Not
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be, like, boring to you? Like some basic draft of a sketch?
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me. Now, before we head back to the campsite, there's one more experiment. Follow me.
Intelligence.
There are some other ruins nearby.
Oke, ini pasti puzzle. Ya kan, puzzle kan ke bawah kah? Holy moly. Hah? Mana nih? Sini kah? Sana ya. Hai guys.
Retribution!
Oke, makasih. Hello, big guy. Widih.
Fire hazard! A festive retreat!
Verdict
Dua. Oke. Waduh. Dingin, Mas. Dingin, gila, dingin. Dingin, cuk. Hei. Oke. Dingin, gila. Beku, guys, beku. Au. Au. Au, api. 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 Okay.
I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travel. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities, much as we did for the physical test.
No
I'd
problem.
like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate the mechanism, and as with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is an action, a tried and tested adventure. So, let's see you in action.
Okay.
It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now what? Ah, I see. Oh, gitu. Oke. Ini berarti sausnya ke sini juga. Berarti ini. Atau yang ini dulu ya? Yang ini dulu berarti. Oke, nice. Sekarang ke sini ada ini.
Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you.
Oke. Hai mas, sini. Yuk, sini ayo. Oke. Allahu Akbar.
Time for retribution! Damn you!
Back off!
Satu udah, satu lagi di sana tadi ya. Oke. Oh. Nggak manjat kah? Ya. Allah.
Is that all you've got? Verdict is?
Oke. Ini mas. Mas. Ya ampun, ribetnya. Turun. Sini. Oke.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking... Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look.
Kode.
What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over Tevat, but they've never given up. There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to rest here, let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail.
Another thing for the don't understand list. Unsolvable. Seems like if you want the reward, you gotta pay the price.
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Okay. See you soon.
Paimon's kind of looking forward to seeing the results of all this brain ache. Unless you can think of anything better to do, let's head back to the campsite.
Not so fast.
Oh.
You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You didn't leave the mountain?
You.
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger? Drinking anonymous potions? Participating in all kinds of strange experiments?
Yes.
I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps, you were colluding from the beginning.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only
Okay.
concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more sinister.
No way! Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't even use alchemy.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
I've gotta hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, that's good enough for me. I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
Oh my. Maaf. Lanjut.
We don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. Now then, all things considered, I deem that you, which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on your account.
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
Okay.
She's gone! So stubborn. Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that. Huh. Never mind her.
Okay. Oke, bentar ya. Oke. Hi, Albedo.
You're back. Good timing. I've just about reached the conclusion. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
You couldn't
that's
tell
it?
that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Tevat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders?
Perhaps.
I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. But it's the only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar, is the seed that I mentioned. But after I observed you, I had another idea. Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy.
Oh,
And so,
apa itu?
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
Oh. Nanda.
the transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem,
Oh.
and now to fruition. Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself? It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty. Life's proudest achievement.
Paimon thought with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever, and it didn't even have any fruit.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to perfection, is necessarily one unburdened by loneliness.
Banyak quote dari Albedo.
So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being a small miracle?
Things feel a little heavy right now. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Ah,
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was a valuable journey for me. In the future, if the need arises, can I solicit your help again?
Oke.
Well, glad I can count on you.
Oke.
I made a point throughout of telling him how ordinary the results were.
Ini kita dengerin aja kali ya.
But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections.
Oke.
But those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be fully defined. If
Oke.
one day I lose control, destroy Mondstadt,
Wow.
destroy everything,
Kuat apa
can I
kau
rely
Bedo?
on you to stop me?
Wow. Selesai kah? Damn. Wow. Lagunya kok sedih ya? Wow. Waduh, sedih juga ya. Apa tadi ya? Udah CakBedo. Habis CakBedo. Oke, udah berapa menit sih? Hampir 1 jam ya? Satu lagi ya, satu lagi Ganyu kali. Ganyu. Oke. Ke bawah. Oh. Semangat live-nya. Dari mana Jazar? Ada kelas tadi ya, kelas tutor ya? Waduh.
It's shocking how much work there is to do, even for the three of us.
And she's been handling it alone all along. The Qixing secretary clearly isn't an ordinary person.
Huh? You're...
Sabtu Minggu libur, maraton
Servants?
Sakurachiyo versus Sasori. Iya, tapi keren ya itu. Animasinya lumayan lah, apalagi waktu boneka si Nenek Chiyo ya kan.
Have you
Pas
seen
boneka yang
Ganyu,
berantem
traveler?
keren, koreografinya tuh keren.
It has been several days since Ganyu left for Joyun Karst.
Ganyu.
She's the general secretary of the... even though the Qixing have made peace with the
Nisa lagi main
Adepti
misinya
after the latter
si
had denounced
Ganyu.
Liyue, they still want to
Salah
pay
satu
their
cewek yang
respects to
cantik
the
di sini.
illuminated ones. They commissioned Ganyu as
Setelah
their
memaraton
envoy to
ulang
deliver a letter
sama
to Julian Karst.
Asuna Mati.
And still, Ganyu should have been...
Is that so?
Kalau
Maybe
Ar-
Ganyu just took a little
Kakuzu
detour.
sama
Who
Hidan
can
tuh
blame
yang
her
aku
after
suka
working so
waktu
hard?
Kakashi lawan Kakuzu.
I'm
keren tuh
afraid it's
animasinya.
not very likely.
Kakashi lawan
Ever
Hidan,
since we met
Kakashi lawan
Miss
Kakuzu.
Ganyu, she's been nothing but the
Itu
most
keren deh.
conscientious person in all of Liyue. Even when it's time for her annual leave, Ms. Ganyu she couldn't possibly be using her mission
Ya
as
sampai
an
buka
excuse
baju
to start
Jonin
off.
lah itulah.
Oh, Paimon sees how it is.
It's because of this absurd workload of hers. When we first heard the three of us would be taking over for Miss Ganyu, we thought it would simply be a
We couldn't have imagined that Miss Ganyu's daily workload far exceeds what the three of us are used to doing. We don't even know how long we've been working. We feel guilty for taking even a short breather like we are now.
Lawan Hashirama kabur.
Looks like you got a serious emergency on your
Diusir dari
hands.
desa dia lagi.
Speaking of
Sampai nggak
Julian
dianggap.
Karst, Traveler, I've heard that you can go in and out of there as you please.
Of course,
Okay.
we've been there lots of times.
That's good news. Could you
I'll
go
do it.
we're safe. It's about time she came back to work.
No, perhaps we should go to Lady Ningguang.
Okay. Sea of clouds, sea of people.
So Ganyu left to visit Cloud Retainer. Doesn't she live in Mel Outsong?
Kemana? Kemana tadi? Mana? Oh, sini. Oke. Sini aja lah.
We should hurry up. Paimon hopes we can find her there.
Let's go. Kita ketemu waifu. Aduh. Kemana lewatnya? Mana ya? Cantik banget, gila.
The person standing over there. That's Ganyu.
Hi, Ganyu.
Finally found her. Ganyu, here you are.
You two. I did not expect to meet you here. Is it official or private affairs that bring you here? I shouldn't. I have left the human world. Please contact the Yuahai Pavilion regarding matters concerning the commercial port.
Left the human world.
You don't want to be the Qixing secretary anymore? But they're all...
That's why you're here? You want me to come back? I'm afraid...
What? Did something happen?
The clouds fold and unfold. The tide ebbs and flows. It was meant to be. When the Adepti entrusted humans with overseeing Liyue, I knew it was only a matter of time until I had to leave. My Adepti blood makes me unwelcome in Liyue Harbor. I delivered the letter and came back to Liyue Harbor, only to discover that I had been replaced by Baiwen, Baishao, and Baishe.
Baisha, ya? Baiwan, Baisha, and Baisha. Oke, Cina keren juga sih.
Perhaps that mission of mine was just a pretext to remove me. Since the Qixing gave me a chance to leave with dignity, I appreciate your kindness, but there's no need for your words of comfort. After 1,000 years away, I came back to Juyun Karst. Looking at the clouds floating among the mountains brings me peace of mind. I feel better now.
Okay.
But...
Who disturbs the peace of these mountains?
Cloud Retainer? We're terribly sorry. We just...
One merely jests. One felt your presence the moment you set foot upon this land.
Wow. You Adepti really are impressive.
Come here to chat about the old times with Ganyu. It looks like you get along quite well. A matter leaves you at an impasse then. Not to worry. One is exceptional at seeking avenues for conversation. One has been one's own companion in idle talk for many a year. Yes. Since you are Ganyu's friends, tales from her youth shall one apprise you of, perhaps?
Oh, Cloud Retainer.
Nothing to be ashamed of. You were so cute as a child. One is most certain that your friends would like to hear of it.
Yes.
Oh, Paimon wants to hear it.
Oh my! Maaf.
Little Ganyu loved when the horns on the top of her head were caressed.
Caress?
When one was still taking care of her, one was pestered most often to touch her horns. She was elsewise loath to sleep.
Oh.
Wow.
Plump she was back then. Why, when she stumbled while we ascended the mountain, she would roll down to the bottom like a little ball. The day Ganyu bumped into a pilgrim was the first time she saw a real human in the flesh. So fearful she was that she hid in a rock's cleft for 2 days and nights. One found her wailing of a monster she had seen.
Cloud Retainer? Forget it. It's about time for my training. I will take my leave.
One's intention was merely to relieve the awkward tension.
And you did the exact opposite. Impressive.
Impressive.
Be that so? But returning to Ganyu, one cannot help but feel that remaining... One will tell you more about her. Most benevolent
okay.
among all Adepti are the Qilin. They drink only spring water and eat only whole grain. But perhaps the mountainous dwellings of Adepti in Joyun Karst might be too lonely for her human side. Under moonlight did one see her last. She stood by the precipice's edge, and upon the mist-veiled mountains she gazed. Her thin figure was immersed in the vast sea of clouds. One noticed her loneliness, and sought to convince her to go back to the human world. But just then, she said thus.
Liyue Harbor feels even lonelier than Joyun Karst. When I look at the sea of clouds in Joyun Karst, I merely feel the loneliness of a solitary cloud gazer. When I step into the sea of people in Liyue, I feel the loneliness of an inhuman that doesn't belong in the human world.
Wow, keren sih.
One did, by chance, hear this much of Ganyu's thoughts. Alone, she will find her predicament hard to conquer. One hopes that...
Oh, Retainer's right. We can't leave Ganyu depressed like that. Anyways, what's that training Ganyu is...
She has sought to reclaim her Adeptus side since return... She should be in the southern part of Mount Al...
Is that so?
Oke, ke sana ya. Di bawah. Yahoo!
So here you are, Ganyu.
Why did you come here? Humans should not remain in the realm of Adepti for too long.
What?
Considering the kindness you have shown me, I can let you stay for the Adeptus training.
Yay!
This trial was prepared by Cloud Retainer. The training is much to her signature style. I hope it won't make it seem like she is too...
Is it difficult?
No, I'm aware of your strength, Traveler. The power hidden within you is... If you're ready, we shall begin the training.
Oke. Terbang kah? Oh, wow. Oh, kita pakai Ganyu. Yang sini ya.
Next on the agenda.
Oh, sini kah? Oke. Masih ada lagi. Gila. Kena kah? Kena. Terbang aja lah. Boom.
If you could see through the eyes of an Adeptus, you wouldn't be so surprised.
Yuk, yuk, yuk. 2 menit lagi, gila. Oke. 1 menit lagi. Oke. Oke, harusnya udah selesai nih. Paham. Oke. Lagi.
We've completed the task. I agree. You possess many qualities similar to those of Adepti.
Ganyu, what were you planning to do once your training was over?
The training's not over yet. The part prepared by Cloud Retainer is only the first trial.
What?
Huh? So there are more trials prepared by other adepts?
No. The only adept
Who is it?
conqueror of demons.
Oh, Xiao berarti.
So it's Xiao. That cold-hearted loner? How come he's prepared a trial for you?
I found him unapproachable at first too. But I believe that being able to face him is an he's already waiting for me. Come along if you're interested.
Of course we are.
Sana. Luar ya.
You're half an hour late. I see you still haven't abandoned the wrongful ways of humankind.
I'm sorry. I had a meeting with Cloud Retainer. I
don't need your explanations and don't
Suaranya-
require any mutual understanding between us. I'm just helping you with your training. That's all.
Suara udah beringgris Xiao kok kayak gitu suaranya.
Xiao is such a strict teacher.
You're neither an Adeptus nor a human, always treading the line between the two worlds. It must create a lot of confusion. Instead of explaining yourself to me, you should face your true self.
I have nothing to hide.
The body and the mind are one. If something worries your mind, your body can help you find a solution. The trial I've prepared for you will explore the true potential of your body.
Yes. I'm ready.
Oke. Wah. Sini kah?
The trial's begun! Paimon can feel it in the air. Even the weather's changed.
Oke. Oh, gini-gini aja berarti ya. Habis. Oh my god. Oke. Waduh.
This is long overdue.
Au au.
Access denied.
Ah, udahlah.
Power that ended HIDUP.
Ayo.
Retribution!
Back off.
Sakit bos.
Verdict is...
Next on the all hail.
Oke.
No touching.
Tahan, tahan, tahan.
Retribution!
Rata kah?
Back off.
Time for a light show.
Burn!
Iya.
Back off.
Bentar. Oke. Dah, belum.
Born of ice and frost.
Oh no. Oke. Gila sih.
I've completed your trial.
You don't have to report back to me. Seeking other people's validation won't benefit your training. Only you can evaluate the result of this trial. You'll progress faster that way.
Understood.
Xiao always has such strong opinions.
From tomorrow on, I'll start raising the difficulty of your training, so you'll have to...
Have to do what?
Another one of those pesky visitors.
Oke, itu sih suaranya.
I'll leave him to you, Ganyu. It's also a part of your training.
Pesky visitor? So even here there are those that Xiao can't deal with?
Oh heavens! Blessed be Rex Lapis. I've finally come upon the Adepti. Are all of you the Adepti of this mountain? Great! My name's Sin Chung. I came to ask for your mercy.
Oh, so it's a pilgrim. Huh. He can handle any battle, but talking to strange humans is a different story, huh?
I am also one of the Adepti. You can say that I'm an Adeptus in training.
Perfect! I didn't come in vain then. Although you sound a bit... What blessings can you grant me?
Wow, straight to the point, huh?
Dear Pilgrim, you shouldn't jump to conclusions. Adepti don't help every pilgrim for free.
For free? Do you mean that you charge people for the blessings of the Adepti?
That's not what I meant. What I'm trying to say is that everything should be earned through hard work and earnest living. It would be unfair to other people if you got everything you wanted for no reason.
Hold on. I've heard this all before. You're just like my old man, always nagging me.
Your father must have experienced it firsthand. The lives of the common folk are riddled with hardships, but are also full of joy. A person of your age should focus on work and family, instead of chasing after fairy tales.
Are you a real Adeptus? Why do you speak and behave like us city folk? You sure you're not one of those swindlers who pose as an Adeptus to cheat people out of their money? Enough. Doesn't matter if you're a real Adeptus or not. You're useless. I'm leaving.
Okay, bye.
Nobody's stopping you. Ganyu, don't let that guy ruin your mood.
It's not his behavior. The things he said, he was right. I thought that coming back to Jueyun Karst and devoting myself to training would make me feel like an adeptus again. But being questioned by him made me realize that But I'm unwelcome in Liyue Harbor. As an adeptus,
It's true! Just believe us!
Alright. I'll go with you to Liyue Harbor. That said, if I'm proven right, I'll return to Jueyun Karst once again.
It's a step in the right direction.
Oke. Ke situ.
We're finally back!
I'm still...
Come on, Ganyu! We're almost there! You don't want...
I suppose you have a point. It would be quite impolite of me to leave the two of you now.
That's right! Where do you want to go first, then?
I've spent too much time in the mountains. The first thing that comes to my mind is the sea. Let's go for a walk in the port.
Happy to
Oh,
come with.
jalan-jalan jadi ceritanya. Oke. Kesana. Misi. Oke.
The sound of the waves in this familiar port. The smell of the sea breeze makes me nostalgic.
Ganyu, you didn't leave Liyue for that long. Why do you look so moved?
Well, I used to be so busy. I haven't taken a stroll around here in a long time.
Huh. That's true. Ganyu seemed to be working all the time.
Well, when I think about my time here, I've spent most of it behind a desk filing documents. It put me in a certain mood. Similar to the one I felt during my training in Jueyun Karst, in fact.
Why, isn't it little Miss Ganyu?
Oke.
I wouldn't have thought I'd meet you here. You...
This old man called her Little Miss Ganyu.
Please don't also start calling me that. Allow me to introduce Uncle Tien. He is...
That's all right. Just tell them the truth. They have done so much for Liyue after all, and I am the one who has yet to introduce myself.
Uncle Tien is a member of the Liyue Chising, the Tianshu.
What? This grandpa is a member of the Chising?
Yep.
The same rank as Ningguang?
Hush now. I must ask for your discretion concerning my identity. Fishing in the port and strolling about are the greatest pleasures of my life. I have no wish to be followed around by those armed guards. In most people's eyes...
Uncle Tien is too modest. He's been around for a long time. There's no one who can replace a person of such noble character.
Oh, little Miss Ganyu. Your kind words make me feel that my decades of hard work haven't been in vain.
Uncle Tien, a person of your standing should really stop calling me Little Miss Ganyu.
Oh, my apologies. It's not intentional, just a childhood habit of mine. Thank you for looking after me when I first ascended to my position in the...
Oh, so you've been friends for many decades now, huh?
Oh, I was just fulfilling my duties as the Chising secretary. It's not...
Talking about secretaries... Oh, I don't know if I should bring it up.
Yes, she worked...
May I...
With pleasure.
She's back in character, just like that, huh? Let's move then.
Oke, kemana tadi?
Harbor. So lovely. So many
Ke sana. Ke sini. Itukah? Yuk. Oke.
Miss Ganyu, it's been too long. I don't know why, but seeing you brings me a sense of peace in these chaotic...
Indeed, it has been a while, Huixin. I heard that you've encountered some problems and came to see if I could be of some help.
My father asked you to come, abusing his status as a member of the Qixing to try...
Don't worry. I'm always happy to help a junior colleague from Yuahai Pavilion.
Ganyu's not only a competent secretary, but also a great mentor.
So, what can you tell me about the problem?
Ugh, where should I start? There are obvious, irregular, without any evidence. My hands are...
I see.
Well, is there any solution?
Naturally. I've dealt with similar issues hundreds of times. Give me a moment to consider the best approach in this scenario.
Okay.
All right. Let's approach it this way then. Your enemy knows you best.
Huh?
If I remember correctly, Second Life and Wanyo Boutique are old business rivals.
Okay.
In that case...
In that case... Ah! I know what you mean, Miss Ganyu.
What is it?
Exactly. Let's
okay.
start with Wanyo Boutique. The owner's name is...
Bolai.
Bolai, isn't it?
Yes, you're right. Follow me, please.
Okay. Ke bawah. Oh, oke, bentar. Bentar.
Oh, welcome. Please take a seat.
Why'd they have to give me that transfer?
Welcome. Please
Apa
take
ya?
a seat.
Sebentar. Udah berapa menit sih? Udah lama kali ya kayak. Udah lama kali pun. Timurnya siapa pegang ntar? Siapa ya? Aku aja mungkin.
Bring the Knights of Favonius with you next time.
Menemukan resolusi yang optimal. Oke, bentar.
Welcome. Please take a seat.
Ini harus diganti ya. Tapi nggak apa. Sini kah? Bukan ya? Oh, ke bawah ya?
Aha! We meet again, traveler. And you must be from the Yuhai Pavilion?
That won't be necessary, Mr. Bolai. Wanyo Boutique's credit is not sufficient to accept orders directly from Yuhai. Should we need to place such an order, we would...
What?
Well,
Oke, sebentar.
Second Life's credit has always been excellent, and based on their tax records, their business is thriving.
Oke.
Tax records? Thriving?
Oke, mungkin udah lama kali ya. Oke, kayak sampai sini aja. Ada keperluan juga bentar. Makasih Lazare udah nonton. Dadah.